We're so excited to welcome into the Big East road trip Georgetown basketball alum Chris Wright. Chris, first of all, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thanks for having me. This is pretty cool. I like the whole setup and how everything is, so thanks for having me.
We're very excited that you're here. The trophies behind you, you got to see that a little bit. You got to look at the Papa shot. Just looking at what we have here, what do you like the most, do you think?
I just like that it's bringing some attention and some entertainment to the Big East, which I feel is the best conference in the country. We playing UConn today, and they won the national championship last year. So I just think anytime we can bring some notoriety and some attention to the Big East and what we're doing in this conference is a great deal. So.
You talk about the Big East now, but I want to go back to your playing days.
Yeah.
Lots of great moments, but what would you say was probably one of the most memorable?
Oh man, that's a long answer, but I just having my teammates, and being around those guys, being able to still communicate. We still have group chats to this day, but obviously the great games we had against Syracuse, Villanova. This is the old Big East, Pittsburgh and Syracuse, and those rivalries that was so much fun. So yeah, I just missed it. That whole competitive nature of the Big East at that time. We were getting about 10 teams in the tournament when I was in college, so it was really competitive, and you had to be ready every night.
How do you think your time in the Big East and your time at Georgetown has shaped you today?
Oh, for sure. It's always going to be a part of my foundation as who I am as a young man and who I am as a father. And I just think it's important to always, whatever brand that you're a part of, whatever brand that you associate with, you want to look good. You want to look good, and you want people that come after you to feel the same joy and passion that you feel from it. So I'm just doing my part as an alum to give these guys and give the Coach Cooley, as much support as I possibly can and help us get back to where we want to be.
You talk about paving the way for the guys behind you, and you're doing that right now, as you mentioned, with Coach Cooley. Can you touch upon a little bit what you're doing with Georgetown basketball?
Yeah, so I've been active in trying to be vocal and trying to get the alumni back involved and supporting Coach Cooley. So we've been able to put on a couple events over the summer where we've had alumni games versus the likes of Syracuse and the likes of Maryland. And it's been a great event for us, and it's been an opportunity for us to have some camaraderie, build what we already have, which is a great fan base and a great alumni group. So I'm just taking it and being vocal and trying to be the voice of just trying to bring Georgetown back to where we are and know that we're strong and we have a unified alum group that's supporting our coach and our players and our university.
And why is that so important to you?
Again, anything I'm associated with that my name is attached to, I want it to be shining. I want it to look good. And I think Georgetown is a special place, and when our brand is looking good, it's the best brand in the country to me. We sell out, and we have a big room. We have a big fan base. So we just want to shake the room again and get people back to on this side, on the Hoya side.
For someone who has never seen Georgetown basketball, how would you convince them to come out and see it? What makes it so special?
We're Coach Cooley. If you talk to Coach Cooley, you're going to be a believer. He's a guy that he puts the battery in your back, man. He wants you. He's fired up. He has the intensity. He has the credentials. And the history of what we have here, the players that we've had here have been cultural icons, and Allen Iverson and Patrick Ewing and Dikembe Mutombo. So what we represent and what Big John, Coach Thompson represented, and my coach as well, JT3 represented, is something, especially for minorities, is something that was bigger than us. So having that representation and understanding the history and the etymology of where we came from is really important, and we just want to continue the tradition and move forward with that.
How do you think it's been going so far, continuing that tradition, especially here today?
We're in the process, so it's tough. When you go through a major monumental change, no pun intended, this is monumental sport, but if you go through a major change like that, it's going to be bumps on the road, and Coach Cooley is trying to steer the ship and keep it strong and keeping us tight, and we as a fan base and alumni group, we got to stay with him and support him and support what they're doing over there. But it's going to be rocky. It's anytime you make a little change in direction, and it's going to be rocky. And we had one leader in our organization forever. So, this is expected, and I just hope we all have patience and stay with the process.
You talk about the process, and you also mentioned a little bit before playing some of those other Big East teams, the alumni. I need to know, how did those games go?
We won. We 2-0. I told you, anytime I'm associated with it, we're going to make sure it look good. Now, we're 2-0 right now. It's been good. Shout out to Alumni Basketball League, who's putting on the events for us and giving us the platform. And I've been able to have some of my former teammates, some guys that played after me, and they get paid for this. So we've been able to do that. We competed in TBT. We work in the community. I work in early childhood development through my company, which is called Dog Talk Studios. And so we're really trying to branch out and be a part of a community and build our infrastructure around Cooley and around the Georgetown program so that when it is shining, we all look good.
Well, we'll keep an eye on all of that. Chris, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.